Hello everybody, welcome back to the video. My name is Gramps and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. Now, guys, whenever there is downtime between updates, whenever there's an intermission between, one or the other, between, separate months, the Brawl Stars community, to spend their time, they try and estimate what the new brawlers are going to be. They're going to guess like what it might be. They draw fan art of what brawlers they think should be in the game. They just do random, total, normal stuff. But for some people, the people that have access to like hacker minds, well, it's not really hacking, it's more so just having a computer that can run it. Oops, I deleted something. They data mine. And data mine is basically when they go into the game files and they look for stuff, to put it simple. And this Reddit user, u/smileyapple3637, it's gonna be on the screen now. They found a video of a person who data mined in the Brawl Stars thing, and they came across something very interesting. Now, guys, this is the exact title that u/smileyapple used. They said, "I found a video about a new brawler in-game file. This vid released about 2 months ago. It has Mr. P and an unknown brawler." So they have bad English. That's literally what they wrote. So basically, someone data mined. They recorded what they found, and they posted it 2 months ago. It has Mr. P, which we're not going to talk about. Mr. P's already out, and an unknown brawler. Now, Supercell. I'm gonna show the video soon. I'm gonna react to it. I've already seen it, but I'm gonna react to it in video on the computer, and then it's gonna show up on the screen for people who haven't seen it. But before that, so with Supercell, they have this thing where they don't really release the name of the brawler in the data files. They have like a model, a working model. They have stuff like that, but they don't release the name to it. They give broad terms. Like, for example, I think B's name was wait, I think it's in the comments somewhere. But yeah, they give for example, Tick, his name was Cluster Bomb Dude. Stuff like that. So they don't give original names. Spawner Dude was the name of Mr. P. So basically, and B was B Sniper. So basically they give out like broad descriptions of what they are. So like it makes sense for Tick, Cluster Bomb Dude, B Sniper, Spawner Dude. They just give out random names. And for this one, they gave out the name Homer, or the Homer. Basically, it's a play on words for Homer Simpson, but it also is a pun. Basically, Supercell does this thing where they have oh no, we'll get into it. So let's watch this video. I don't think it has phone. I'm gonna do this because it has a microphone on it, so it should be playing on the video now. So yeah, let's watch it. So basically, yeah, it's in a loaded game. The name is It's Homer, not the Homer. It's Homer. It's also in Russian, I believe. That's why they can't speak. So as you can see, it's Colt, but it looks like the shots are curving in a way. It has crow's animation, like the projectile, and the shot, it turns. It's basically a homing missile. It turns forward, and then the spawning thing is weird because it looks like it gives what is it called? A reload speed buff, because that's like that's Bull's berserker thing, little thing. Animation. So okay, now I'm gonna repeat it, please. So yeah, and another thing that I want to point out that's interesting about this is how the shots seem to go on for an infinite amount of time. Now, I don't think when they release it, it's gonna be infinite. If it is infinite, then this is gonna be very interesting. Although, and most of the time it looks like it is hitting its shot. So basically, yeah, that's the video, guys. Now, that video, it's a big deal because, it gives us an idea about what the next brawler is going to be. Now, so yeah, that's this video. Now I'm gonna dive further in because I think I have a good idea of what the name and overall how this brawler is going to be like. So, Supercell with this thing, I was going to mention this earlier, but Brawl Stars, to name their brawlers, they basically use puns. So B is, of course, B-E-A, B. Max, fast. And like Shelly, shotgun shell. Colt is the name of gun brand. Bull is when he charges them. So basically, they're basically either puns or jokes or similar, or what is it called? Rhyming words that basically go along with what they are. Now, for this one, it's called It's Homer. Now, they're obviously not going to go with Homer because then it's just going to sound like a ripoff of Homer Simpson. But I have a few ideas of what the name might be, because it's basically the only name. Like, for example, Brock, like, it's hard to like have a name that goes along with Rocket, you know. That's why they chose Brock, because it's Rocket, you know. So it's the same thing goes for It's Homer. I'm just gonna call it It's Homer for now. It's Homer, like, homing missile is basically what it is. It's gonna be a homing missile. And there's not that many names that you can make with Homer Missile. So I have a few guesses of what they might be. So my first one, which also kind of sounds like another off-brand, but I got Home. Home, H-O-L-M, maybe H-O-L-M-E-S, so Holmes. Holmes and Home would probably be a good name for it, just because it's like a Homer Missile, like with home. And another one that might make a little bit of sense, just only because it rhymes, is Jerome. Now, it's like, you know, Jerome Missile, stuff like that. Maybe even Ohm, O-H-M. Just simple, like, those three names are probably like the biggest three candidates. If it's a guy, then that's the three names if it's a guy. If it's a girl, it might be, because it's homing missile, it might be Miss Ohm or something, Miss... I don't know, just Miss Chrome, sponsored by Google. I don't know, but like, if it's a girl, I don't really have that many names. It might be Miss something, like Miss, or it might just be Miss, M-I-S-S, because I don't know. So if it's a girl, it might have something to do with Miss. It might be an older lady. If it's a boy, it's either Home, Ohm, or Jerome. So those are my those are my three guesses about what the name might be. And now I have another thing to talk about what this brawler might look like and what it might be. So it's probably, the rarity to start off will probably be legendary.
Wait a minute, guys. Sorry, I just made a quick mistake that I realized after editing. For some reason, I thought that there was no like all the other brawlers that came, like a few brawlers that came before Sandy came after him, and I kind of based my whole argument that the reason why Holmes, I'm just going to call him Holmes, the reason why Holmes should be a legendary brawler is because we haven't had one since Sandy, and all these brawlers have had their rarities be everything but legendary. So, and I was just wrong. Looking back at it now when I was editing, I was just really wrong. And I was too wrong just to say, oh, sorry, it's just a little mistake in like edit. So I decided, no, I'm just going to freaking record this whole thing. So yeah. Basically now, I was basically saying that it should be a legendary, but now that I'm looking back at it, it should probably be something along the lines of super rare or rare, or maybe even trophy rare, just because Holmes doesn't seem like a type of brawler that should be too hard to grasp, you know? It doesn't seem like a brawler that actually has like any value or any skill cap, because it's a homing missile, you know, it will sway to the targets, and basically, like I said, it's auto-aim 2.0, because you really don't need to do much. Like, if you auto-aim, if you actually press auto-aim, it's going to shoot out where the brawler is, and it's also going to turn to it. So it's basically 2 times the amount of auto-aim. So that's why looking back at it now, I don't think it should be a legendary. If anything, it should be a super rare, or a trophy road brawler. So sorry about that. Welcome. Yeah, go. Okay, cool.
So this one might be legendary because of that, because they don't have any other room for legendaries. Another thing is the other reason why I think it might be a legendary is because Supercell, another way that they decide on whether or not the brawler should be either this rarity or this rarity is by seeing how difficult it is to master them. So like it makes sense for someone like Mortis to be mythic. Oh, I forgot mythic. Yeah, the other mythic was Max. Max was added into the mythics, anyways. But they add the brawlers into each category based on how hard it is to grasp them. So it makes sense for like someone like Jean or Mortis, because those two are like, you know, they're a little bit harder to like grasp. And Frank, you basically only need to compensate for the fact and it takes so long for him to swing his hammer, which is why he's not really high up there, but also is why he's not down low. So they base it off of the rarity, and I also think, I mean, having a Homer missile probably might be a little bit difficult to manage, especially if it's another one shot like B, like if they only have one, which I think that would be more fair, because if you have a constant stream of 3 shots for an infinite long amount of time hitting the target, it's probably going to be a little bit too unfair. So if it's a one-shot target that like glides to it, it would take it like, it would be a little bit harder to grasp for things. I don't think, maybe this argument is a little bit weak, I'll admit it. Like, I don't think it might be added in because of how hard it is to master them. That's why the other thing, I have 2 extremes. It might either be a legendary or it might be another trophy road brawler. Because, for one, the argument to why it might be a legendary is because you know, they already had so many other new brawlers added into the categories, so it makes sense for them to have legendary. But also, it might be a trophy road brawler, the simplest of simple, because it's probably not too hard to grasp that. Like, if it is 3 shots and a long discharge speed or something, it's basically going to go on for an infinite amount of time and swerve to the target. So basically, it's like auto aim 2.0. And that's another problem. So basically, those are the 2 things that I think they might be. It either maybe a legendary or a trophy road brawler. No in between. Watch me be wrong. So yeah, another thing that you know I'm thinking is this brawler could be really underpowered or really overpowered. Again, it's really extremes with these two, with this thing, because if it is one shot, okay, if it's one shot with only a short amount of time, like if what was shown in the video is wrong and it doesn't actually go on forever to hit the target, it might be not that as powerful, because it looked like the angle that which it curved at doesn't look like it's a sharp one, you know. It's not like here and then here, it's a slow turn. So if it is a slow turn like that, then I think that possibly this brawler might be extremely weak, especially if it's one, if it only has 1 ammo bar at a time. But it also might be extremely overpowered if it does go on forever and it does keep the same speed and there's 3 shots already that you can shoot off. I think if it's either one or the other, it's going to be extremely overpowered and extremely underpowered. So that's what I think about the brawler already. So what the brawler might look like, and this is where it gets into more estimating rather than seeing based off of the facts. Just because, okay, so it's a homing missile. Homing missiles explode. It's a missile. I believe that because it's a missile, he might be, or she might be related to Brock. So of course he's gonna be black, maybe the same quirky attitude that Brock has. So he might be African American, and also, you know, he's probably gonna have the same attitude as Brock, because for one, Supercell over the past couple of updates, they've been liking to kind of connect the Brawl Stars like family, like how Pam is the mother of Jesse, and how Nita and Leon are related. So, and how Shelly and Colt are dating. I mean, it's not confirmed, but people pretty much assume, and I go for that, you know, sure, why not? So I believe that, you know, with this, he or she might be related to Brock. If it's a guy, he might be his brother or something. If it's a girl, he might be his sister. Just stuff like that, you know, or maybe her mom or his dad. It just depends. So yeah, that's what I think it might look like. And overall, my opinion on this brawler is that it just might be another one. Just the Brock, you know, because I say that because out of the sharpshooters, and I say sharpshooters as in B, Piper, and Brock, and I guess Jesse and Penny, but for example, let's use Piper and B and Brock. When Piper and Brock were both out, people didn't really like Brock. People felt like he was a more weaker version of Piper, which I agreed. Like I was a sharpshooter. I really liked sharpshooting in Brawl Stars. And I did not prefer Brock at all. Like, Piper was my main, and then B came out. Now B's my favorite sniper. But nonetheless, this might just be another one of the Brocks, you know? Like, it's another sharpshooter, but it's basically an auto-aim bot, you know? It's not really gonna you don't need to have a lot of skill to play this, especially because it's a homing missile. It's gonna shoot for the target. Like I said previously, it's a auto aim 2.0. So I don't think that it might have the same impact as all the other brawlers have had in the past. Like over the time, the brawlers that have been coming out have been extremely overpowered. So I don't think this brawler might be. I think this brawler may break that path. It's probably gonna be another one of them. I think it was Carl, because when Carl came out, he was just, he was just meh. So it might be another Carl. It's not too game breaking, but not too underpowered, because this idea seems like it might be, it just might be another normal brawler that, contributes to the game, but not that much. So that's basically what I think this brawler might be. It's, of course, speculation, and it was posted 2 months ago, so maybe the Homer brawler, or let's just call it Home. I think Home might be a failed brawler, maybe? Maybe they had Mr. P, and it's Homer, or Holmes, like, they were deciding which brawler they should pick, and they probably went with Mr. P overall. So Holmes might not even be a new brawler coming out. But I think, maybe it has a good chance, it might come out. So that's basically what I think this next brawler is going to be. It's going to be fun to see what it is, The update's coming in March, if you didn't know. Frank confirmed this on his Twitter. Thank you, Frank. You're really cool. One of the best, community managers out there. But nonetheless, can't wait for this update. I want to see if I'm right. It'll be fun if I'm right. But nonetheless, guys, thank you for watching this video. My name is Gramps, and I can't wait to see y'all back on my channel. Anyway, see you guys later.